Hello, JCU alumni and friends. I'm Spencer German, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Alumni Engagement Specialist in the Office of Alumni Relations at John Carroll University. And I'm excited to unveil to you a new project that we're calling the Young Alumni Spotlight. The concept behind the Young Alumni Spotlight is to share stories and outcomes of some of our more recent Blue Streak alumni with the greater JCU community. And I'm thrilled to be joined in this inaugural edition by Will Blake, who is a member of the class of 2019 and works as a radio producer at 98 Rock in Baltimore and serves as the director of the Baltimore Ravens radio network. Will, I want to start by thanking you for being our feature alumni for the first installment of this series. And I'm going to hand it over to you to just kind of share a little background on your current role and everything that you do.
Well, Spencer, thank you so much for having me on. This is a great thing that you're doing here. And I'm happy to be just one of many success stories. So as you mentioned, I am the afternoon show producer at 98 Rock. So I work with Kirk McEwen and Marianne Seark, and I work with helping their daily show production, whether it's getting daily audio or helping with show elements, who we have a guest coming on, just all the organizational stuff and make sure the show runs smoothly. And as you also mentioned, I'm also the director of the Baltimore Ravens Game Day Network, and that involves me being on site for each game in the booth, setting things up, as well as communicating with the producer back in studio, as well as the host at the game to coordinate breaks, segments, make sure the audio sounds good, all the connections are connected properly, and just making sure all the things flow as smoothly as possible. So I hope that I do as well as the job as I can, but it's been so fun so far, just getting all the experience so far.
Well, let me ask you this. How would you say your time at John Carroll and the experience that you got here helped prepare you for this current role that you're working in?
Well, John Carroll truly is as a professional environment as it gets, because it has so many tools that I work with currently that they had at John Carroll. So they really had my first introduction to the job that I was doing right now. So they have all the tools, and as well as work with the people as well. They have so many helpful, as well as classmates, but as well as the professors, the doctors, all the faculty. They really want you to succeed. So I think the two big things were just having the tools there, the resources, whether it was having a radio station on campus or having really top of the line media computers at the school as well. But the teachers and the classmates were equally helpful. It was a lot of fun hanging out with the classmates during my time at JCU, but the professors really made a difference to, kind of nudge me into a direction that I wanted to go forward to.
And last thing for you, Will, if you could give one piece of advice, if you have a couple pieces, that's okay too, but a couple pieces of advice, one big piece of advice that you would give to a current JCU student who's working their way towards graduation and then ultimately looking to enter the workforce, what would it be?
Well, I think my biggest piece of advice, because I do have a couple, but the big thing for me, and I hope that the students can take this with them as well, is the big thing is to just keep an open mind. And I know that sounds cliche, but if you have one certain thing in mind and you stick to it, what happens if it goes awry? You got to make sure that you keep your net open, because you might find something that you may not have even had a second thought about going into your career at college. And then all of a sudden it points out to you and you stick with it and you make a career out of it. So I would say just keep an open mind. If something interests you, try it out, because it may lead to something really, really cool.
He's Will Blake, our first alumni to be featured as part of our new Young Alumni Spotlight. Stay tuned for another Young Alumni Spotlight next month.